This story is absolutely heartbreaking, and this beautiful young lady lost her life for absolutely senseless reasons. An innocent teenage girl was shot and killed in her vehicle. This was as two strung-out drug users chased after her because they thought she was stalking them. 17-year-old Kaylee Dutton died last week on an isolated stretch of road. This was near Cedar City, Utah, when 23-year-old Ethan Galloway fired nearly 12 times, or at least 12 times, into her car. This was late Friday night on January 17th. Reportedly, Kaylee was struck at least one time by a bullet gunfire, and she then crashed the red truck she was driving into a fence. She was deceased by the time she arrived at Cedar City Hospital. Reportedly, Ethan and 23-year-old Michael Edward Heswatucky were both charged with second-degree murder as well as drug and firearm crimes. Michael was said to be the driver while Ethan was the shooter. The local sheriff's office stated that the two of them admitted to their roles in Kaylee's murder, and reportedly Ethan wrote a letter to her family explaining his actions, as if that makes it any better. An arrest affidavit stated that both of the suspects admitted that their actions had resulted in serious bodily injury and death of the victim. They reportedly claimed that they had previously seen Kaylee's vehicle in their neighborhood, or that they thought they had, and they assumed that people in that red truck she was driving were stalking them. And she indeed was not doing that. She was minding her own business. It was said that Ethan and Michael saw Kaylee's car at their townhome block, and they chased after her in a black 2018 Chevy Silverado, and it was said that the two suspects were flashing their bright lights at her. Reportedly, Kaylee and her friend, her 18-year-old friend that was with her, saw the truck chasing after them. They drove 6 miles north and then west out of town. Michael then pulled up beside them just before an intersection, and then Ethan sprayed Kaylee's truck with gunfire. It was said that Kaylee's friend that was with her survived and only had a leg injury. That friend reportedly called 911 at 10:32 p.m. First responders arrived to the scene at 10:51 p.m. Reportedly, a local SWAT team arrested Ethan and Michael the next day on Saturday, January 18th at around 5:45 p.m. This was outside of that townhome that they were at. Then 22-year-old Matthew Sorber Petrie and 21-year-old Aldrich Felipe were arrested a few hours after Michael and Ethan, and they were charged with obstruction, firearm, and drug crimes. This is a picture of all the lousy suspects. Matthew reportedly admitted to giving Ethan the gun, and he knew that it was going to be used to confront the supposed stalker. It was said that Aldrich stayed at home, but knew about the plan and knew what was going on during the shooting. They were also said to be aware that Michael removed the shell casings from the vehicle and that he stored them in a container to be disposed of. Police reportedly found magic mushroom vapes, marijuana vapes, and other drug paraphernalia at the home during a search, which is what prompted the drug charges. Authorities were able to identify the suspects based on a vehicle description that was given by Kaylee's friend, but they also used surveillance footage to place the suspect's vehicle at the scene. Officers also reportedly found the gun and ammunition that were used to kill Kaylee. Michael and Ethan were charged with second-degree murder, 12 counts of discharging a firearm causing serious bodily injury or death, obstruction of justice, drug possession, and possession of a firearm by a restricted person. Then Matthew and Aldrich were both charged with drug possession, possession of a firearm by a restricted person, and obstruction of justice. They are all now being held at the Iron County Jail, and luckily without bail. Authorities stated that Kaylee and her friend were doing nothing wrong, were just teens having fun, and that somebody violently attacked them and ended a life for no real reason at all. Kaylee was reportedly a student at Para One High School, and reportedly her mother said she was the light of their lives. This is absolutely unreal, and it breaks my heart. Kaylee had her whole life in front of her and did not deserve to die. I hope the suspects spend a whole lot of time behind bars and that justice is served 100% in this case. My heart and prayers go out to all of Kaylee's loved ones. For more true crime, be sure to hit the follow button, and if you're on YouTube, be sure to subscribe.